Welcome back, sparklers. This is your space for reflection, a pause in your day to look at life stories and find the magic inside them. Welcome to Magical Monday. So, today we are revisiting Snow White, but this time the spotlight is on the Queen, not for her jealousy, but for the opportunity that she missed. She didn't understand one simple truth. Women need women. We need community. And when we forget that, we lose more than we gain. So the queen had status, power, and beauty. But the moment the mirror whispered, Snow White is fairer, she panicked. Instead of seeing Snow White as someone who could expand her circle, she saw her as competition. And that single decision closed the door to so much more: mentorship, collaboration, and sisterhood. Snow White wasn't a rival. She was a young woman in search of guidance. She was building a community with 7 very different personalities. She learned on their wisdom, even when they were quirky, imperfect, or stubborn. And that's what the queen could not see. Because leadership isn't about guarding your crown, it's about lifting others as you wear it boldly. So let's look at those 7 little men. Each one represented something different that Snow White needed to survive. One was cautious, one was joyful, one was extremely protective, one was hardworking, one was shy, one was outspoken, and one was wise. So if you think about it, Snow White had a mentorship council without calling it that. She surrounded herself with people who sharpened her, balanced her, and reminded her she didn't have to do life alone. So what if the queen had done the same? What if she had invited Snow White into her palace, not as a rival, but as a student? She could have gained not just beauty tips, but resilience, compassion, and the one thing, community. So how often do we as women look at each other as competition instead of possibility? We size each other up: who's prettier, who's more successful, who's ahead in life. And in doing so, we rob ourselves of so much more of mentorship and true community. Because a lot of people use that word of community. And when you dig down into community, is it really a healthy community, or is it a group of women just who have decided to congregate, right? Is it true healthy community where we are learning from each other? And the biggest thing, are we accepting each other for where we are? Because I find that in community, when we're talking about true community, we really should expect that everyone is different than we are. Now, we may be like-hearted, but we don't have to be like-minded. Because to me, like-minded is, maybe it could be a cult. So we want to be like-hearted. We don't need to be the same. And if you really look at it, we all can't be the same. Why? Because we all come from different backgrounds, and different backgrounds is on a microscopic level as your household, right? We all come from different households because we have parents that raise us differently. So if you look at it from that point of view and from that perspective, when we go out into the world, we, 1, have formed our own opinions of different things, and 2, we're bringing our family guidance with us as well. So now when you are placed in community, you're looking for sisterhood. You're looking for connection because we are wired for connection. But at the same time, what each and every person is looking for is how to be accepted as themselves. And really and truly, deep down, if we drill deep down, the queen was looking for that as well. But for her, the facade was going to that mirror every morning and asking who was the fairest. Because for her, she thought in order to be accepted, she had to be presented as the fairest. And based on that, people will like her and love her. So once she was not the fairest, what did she think? She now thought that somebody else would get all that love and attention, and not realizing it had nothing to do with how she showed up in the mirror. So here's the truth. The queen failed because she didn't know how to share space. Snow White thrived because she learned on mentorship and community. So I want you this week to ask yourself, where am I acting like the queen? Where am I closing myself off because I feel threatened? And where can I lean in like Snow White and invite support, wisdom, and true partnership? Now, don't get me wrong, based on your family background experiences, there might be some things that might be traumatizing for you. But I implore you to use your language for whenever you get these feelings that you can communicate to people in the community. And as Maya Angelou say, when you learn, teach, when you get, give. The queen never understood that, but you and I can. So let's close with a bragfamation, which is being responsible to amplify God's gift. And you are a gift from God. So repeat after me. I will not compete where I can collaborate. I will see other women as allies and not rivals. I will give what I've learned and receive what I need. I'm going to repeat that part again. I will give what I've learned and receive what I need. Some people feel that I think there's a phrase called gatekeeping. Some people feel if you share or give what you learn, you're not going to have it anymore. And that's a lie. And then on the same instance, because you can't give freely, you're not going to be able to receive as well. So you're always going to leave yourself in a deficit because you are in need of something. But because you are in need of something, you're not able, because you can't give out what you have, you can't receive what you need. And that in itself can sometimes be the small shift that we need to understand that we have to give in order to receive. And we have to know what it is that we want. Today in church, my pastor said, if you want more friends, be friendly. If you want more friends, be friendly. How many people are not friendly but complain that they are lonely? So you have to learn to give in order to receive. And then the last bragfamation is, I will build community and not walls. So the queen didn't lose because Snow White existed. She lost because she forgot women need women. Your story is waiting for you to write it. And here at Mosaic Publishing, we help women put their brilliance into words so their light shines even brighter as a 1,000-watt bulb. So don't wear your crown alone. Share it, expand it, and let it remind you that sisterhood is strength. So until next time, sparklers, keep glowing, and have an amazing, magical Monday, or from whenever you are listening to this. Have an amazing day and also an amazing week until we meet next time for another incredible, magical Monday.